Alright guys, here we are to talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 2, Episode 8, The Dark Age. So this episode starts off with a British gentleman making his way across what appears to be a college campus, looking for Rupert Giles. He comes across a custodian who gives him direction. Did you recognize that custodian?
No.
He's in the in Army of Darkness. He's one of the guys that's like, oh!
Swords by his side!
I think he's the blacksmith.
Oh my god. Because I was about to be like, why are you mentioning the custodian? Stop! What are you doing? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, he has a very specific face. I was like, that guy!
You're welcome.
Okay.
I don't know anything else he's been in, but I know that.
I don't think we've seen him before. I doubt we'll see him again. Maybe we shall.
Heavens no. Why would
That'd be amazing if he becomes a
Yeah, he's a running character that I'd never noticed before.
Exactly.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
So, like, the premise of this episode is it goes deeper into Giles' backstory, and we learn that he was a ruffian back in the day, and him and a group of friends, as he rebelled against his destiny to become a Watcher, practiced in some magics.
We practice magics.
I love this, because he says, like, they were getting high with dark magic, basically.
Yeah. It's an extraordinary high.
That's great.
It's pretty good.
That's so much better, and just like solidifies the whole house, or like Doctor Who thing. I'm like, oh, he's like, they're like misusing their like talents for their personal thing, and then it's like, oh, it's terrible. Oh, I'm so sorry, or whatever. It's his past is coming back to haunt him. That
Literally.
friend gets attacked by like a zombie lady who he recognizes by name,
Deirdre?
who chokes him to death and then melts, and you're just like, what's happening?
Yeah.
His past has come back to haunt him in the craziest way possible. Alex Mack style, just becomes a puddle.
Pretty much.
And goes away.
And then, absorbs into the body, and then later on comes back as that man. It's impossible.
It can't be.
Do we see it going into him at that point? I think it's like ambiguous.
Yeah, I think they leave that open.
We
just
know
because
later
it's
that it
to
does.
make it a better show.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
But I like that. I think that she looked very zombie-ish then.
Yes.
And then, like every other time, it's clearly more demon-y. And I think that's for two reasons. It's probably because it's cheaper, and because it doesn't throw, the episode. You don't know where it's going.
Well, that other friend is decomposing and stuff, so you see, like, he, like, maybe eventually would look more like the intro chick, but he's, like, stuff's fallen off a little bit, but it's not, like, as bad yet, so I feel like it's just this corpse that the demon's riding for a little while, and then it, like, falls apart completely.
Well, we see Mrs. Calendar is almost full-blown demon, though, after a very short amount of time.
She was not dead.
Sure.
So she's like turning into the real
I
Igor.
wonder how, but like
Igon.
It's a very strange. Yeah, it was something, and it's spelled in a way where I was like, oh, it's
like Y's and H's, and I'm like, no, this is Igor Spangler. This is nothing. No.
No, I like that. I like him taking over. That we have this great moment here where we finally kind of get this relationship with him and Miss Calendar going, and then this whole thing ruins it because
this is what this episode is.
Yeah.
This is the Miss Calendar. Don't tell me this might be her last episode though, because earlier I was like, nah, she like does an incantation, something, because I do not remember this chick, so something must happen to her, right? And if this is what happens to her, I'm so upset. If we just never see her again, this frickin' sucks, because this makes no sense. She knows about the occult. She's doing internet seances and stuff. She's totally aware of what's going on here, and she knew this about Giles before she started to try to get into his pants.
Yeah,
and
her reaction is solely script-based. It is not in character, I think, how she would react.
There's no moment where, like, it's clear that, like, he has somehow betrayed her by hiding it or anything. Maybe that was cut, or, like, just they didn't decide to do it. But yeah, by the end, it appears she lived through a whole different episode.
Yeah.
Like, the episode I saw, every time she so much as, like, stumbles, he says, Jenny! And, like, runs across the room to go grab her.
He darts across the thing that's trying to kill him to just sit by her side because she's hit her head.
Jenny!
Exactly.
Why was she standing so close to the door anyway?
That's true.
Don't people know to keep their hands and heads away from doors?
Keep it inside at all times. Yeah.
If you can. But yeah, by that end, when her reaction is so against the character that we knew from the earlier bit of the same episode that I think audibly was like, Jenny, you cold bitch. She just it's such a about face turn.
This weekend.
Would you like to go out?
No, I think I'd like to stay in.
Because she is like monster trucks and cheese dogs and like internet.
Being an aggressive lady.
Yeah, she's like she's a girl boss. And like this is totally against whatever should happen here. The ending feels like he got possessed and like almost raped her or something like that. It feels like the opposite. Whereas he was like, I can't take advantage of you.
It's not right. I would be taking advantage.
So if like she was even in there during that part, she must be like, oh, he did everything. He tried. And then I watched myself try to kill him or something. I don't even know.
They don't go into detail on what the experience of being ridden by a demon, like, like as the vessel is like.
Right.
So it's hard to say exactly what she walked away with. Maybe she just was in a horrible feeling of dread the whole time. It's like, you did this to me. But even that, like, he did not do it to you.
No, yeah, because that doesn't work, because that means she fell next to that weird cage they have in the library. I don't know if that's the evidence room. Whatever.
The valuable books.
But she fell then, and then woke up in like the other place.
Yeah, and then
like,
why would you hate Giles?
Exactly.
No, she has to have something.
This stinks. I don't like it.
Ugh. The part I don't like about the episode, and a lot of Buffy episodes have this feeling to them, like in the early seasons, where they kind of just end very quickly. Like okay, we set up, we got 2 minutes left, fucking end it. And like the ending, and because there's like an epiphany, and they like yes, you're right, we have to do this, and they go and they get Angel off screen, and Angel shows up, and he starts to choke Miss Calendar, and this makes the demon freak out. I gotta jump into the next closest dead body. Oh, that's Angel, and Angel's whole like and like that actually looked pretty good for like how CG usually looks really bad.
I was gonna say
I said for this, not for life.
Yes. No, like for the time. But you could see the guy like cracking his knuckles. We're gonna do some digital effects now, boy. Just going stretching. And
but
stuff.
That's such a fucking risk because. Let's just say it didn't work, and now it's riding a much more powerful fucking vessel here. Because Angel, arguably the next closest, like Buffy, then Angel. That's like the order of operations in the group we have here. And you're like, you know what? Let's throw our very tanky guy, who Buffy probably won't want to hurt.
Our tank.
Yes. And that's what you got there.
Anytime we can relate it to video game classes, I love it. Where is Miss Calendar? Is she like the fourth?
Miss Calendar would be a spellcaster or a healer or something.
Right.
Like
she's like the alternate healer for when the healer's not there. Yeah, it's amazing. And you're just
and you're like, oh, we'll just swap these. We'll see what happens.
Exactly. And like the lines here, I hate to pick everything apart, but I love to pick everything apart.
Sure.
He says, I've had a demon in me for over 200 years.
Oh, it's so brutal.
Just waiting for a fight.
I've had a demon inside me for a couple hundred years. Just waiting for a good fight.
And then that with like no pronouns or adverbs or something, just waiting for a fight. I'm like, were you waiting for? No, because is he implying that he's been fighting the demon inside of him for hundreds of years? And because he says waiting for a fight, implying that the demon inside of him fought Igor. And then it's like, then Buffy says
for possession of the body.
And then Buffy says winner and still champion. I'm like, that implies that Angel won.
Winner and still champion.
Unless she's happy that the demon Angelus inside of Angel won. And then they just kind of look at each other like, aw. And I'm like, what happened? What is going on this episode?
Because it's a very, just to dig in on this a little bit more. So when he had no soul, he was Angelus. That is just his name. That is who he is. And as time moved on, and Angelus didn't seem like an appropriate name anymore, he Ellis Island that shit to Angel. So if he were to revert back to that thing, it would, assuming it's not the same way where it just rides along and it goes back to being the same person, it would revert back to a time period when I was a full-blown vampire, and I would think myself as Angelus because I didn't live through this time-changing thing here. So if we're to say that demon is in there fighting him, that's such a weird thing because if it can fight and beat possession of that, you'd think it could override his soul. This is a demon, an actual demon. Vampires are like the lowest rung of things there ever was. It's like rats compared to like man.
So like a unnamed demon versus a demon that has like a chapter in that book.
Yes.
With like the E is like big and it's like
that is the
God.
One and only of that demon, and you are the one of many vampires.
Actual, like named unique boss in this video game analogy. No, so like coming at it from the outside, only knowing things that I cheated from later seasons, but now going just based on what I've seen or whatever. Buffy told the brain cancer kid, like, no, you don't live forever. You die, and then a demon hitches a ride in your body, and it has all your memories, but it's not you.
Yes.
So that to me was the demon Angel was talking about.
Yes, and I would imagine that's what it was.
But in the other episode, he says, "Well, I was cursed with a conscience." So then I'm like, wait, so is he a demon with a conscience?
It doesn't work because if it's been repressed and has been waiting for a fight this whole time, when it goes into your body, it is not in charge in the first place. So it should be like behind you. You are like front in line. You should be fighting, and if you lost, then you'd be like, oh, he doesn't have possession. Then Angela should be like, oh, motherfucker, it's my turn. Ready for round 2? But it doesn't get that far. Like it's just this series of convenience where they're like, well, we have 2 minutes ended. How do we do it? He's a dead body. Fucking do it. Okay.
And I feel like earlier in this episode, they have this weird like blood bank delivery day thing.
A medical transport is delivering a monthly supply of blood to the hospital.
Vampire Meals on Wheels.
Yes.
I think only to remind the audience Angel exists, so that it's not just literally he shows up at the very end.
Angel!
Buffy, look out!
Out of nowhere. Right?
I think I almost would have preferred him just show up.
So you're like, oh yeah, Angel. Fuck, I forgot about Angel. And then he's
because then it would at least be like, let me come out of left field here with like, what was the plan? Because those kind of things in shows are often nice when it's like, oh, we established in season 1 we had a shrinking ray, and in season 6 when we needed someone to do a thing, oh, we got him, boys. Like, could have been good, and not that anyone really that watches the show forgot about Angel. But
I don't mean that literally either.
But I understand what you mean. It would have been like, oh yes, Angel. Why didn't you get Angel?
Because the blood bank thing goes nowhere, and it could have been anything, and Angel didn't have to be a part of it. You know, the whole point of that was that Giles is like derelicting his duty.
If you were going to play this like in a like a more reality-based thing, so like much in the way that like they could hunt, they used a vampire to hunt down and find the she-mantis. Maybe you could use Angel to go like sniff out Spike, throw Spike at the thing.
Oh.
The demon goes in the Spike. She stakes Spike, kills 2 demons in 1 second, and it's all over.
But I know Spike happens later in the show, so I know it was going to happen. Okay.
No, but like any vampire would have worked for this thing. You didn't have to bring, because it's such a risk.
Yeah.
You've never done this before. You don't know it's going to work. You could have just lost Angel. Period.
No, yeah, you're doing like weird math on like living dead possession or something like that. And the fact that the tattoo works in the first place was crazy.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and scream if you like.
Where I'm like, why didn't you do this originally? What's going on? He didn't, right? He just tattoos Buffy and then it works?
Well, and
like, what's happening?
Like, I understand he it's supposed to be that he transferred his mark to her and burns his off, but potentially he could have just burned his off and seen what happened. Because it's not like he like took the ink from his and put it into hers. There was no weird thing here.
This is not an Iron Fist situation.
No, yes.
And maybe all those little candles and little vials were meant to imply that to me, but they don't really do that. And yeah, I had the same thought of like, it's been like 20, 30 years or whatever it was. Like, we never thought of this before. You didn't find someone and randomly transfer the tattoo.
Like a vagabond, like, hey,
and they have
$20,
and they all have these crazy out of character tattoos.
And they look perfect. They're so old, and they were done at a time where ink was different and tattoo guns were different. Actually, he did it stick and poke style with her. So I hate that in most things when tattoos just look, oh, it's perfect. Oh, like you see how it still has a shine to it?
Like you just peeled off the little instant tattoo. Yes, exactly.
But like, if you're going to talk about unrealistic things, it would be that Buffy at the end goes like, I had my savings up for a pair of shoes, but now I've got to get this tattoo removed.
You know what the worst thing is? I was saving up for some very important shoes, and now I have to blow my entire allowance to get this stupid tattoo removed.
A tattoo removal in like, before the year 2000.
Yes.
So expensive. So expensive. So many sessions.
It was literally just a glass thing of acid that they would dump onto you. It was a very crude.
So this would not play out the way she feels it would. I do like that she took it like a boss. She just like grimaced a little.
Yeah.
It's like, you can feel free to scream.
That guy. So like Ethan sucks.
Ethan, I like him.
Yes, I do like him, but like
it's a little
weird
seeing him so close to like we just saw him.
Yes.
So like to have him as a repeat character already.
I may screw this up. Let me run something by you to see if this makes sense. So, Buffy doesn't know about Ethan or about anything, it seems like. Which,
up until this episode.
Yes, because Ethan like tells her and all that other stuff, right?
I know you. You were in that costume shop.
Oh, I'm pleased you remember.
You sold me that dress for Halloween and nearly got us all killed.
I forget what exactly she didn't know that like threw me, but I also feel like in the Halloween episode, Willow knew something, right? And would have said, well, yeah, the guy who owned the costume shop, Giles, and I went there, and then he told me to run, and then the spell was broken. So they would have asked him, and he might have been cheeky about it, but Buffy would have been like, yeah, what broke the spell? And Giles is like, and just like doesn't say. I'm like, wait, shouldn't people know something?
We don't like to ask questions.
Or even that there's something missing? Like, like imagine Buffy saying, "You've been weird ever since Halloween. You never answer my questions. Like, what are you doing?" And then as an audience, it could have been like, "Oh, now it makes sense that she's like, who are you, Ethan? Oh yeah, you're the costume shop guy." And I'm like, no, he's the guy who did that, right? And it feels something's off there again, but whatever.
I like that he flips over that shelf and tries to get her. I wonder what he was even going there for. Because like he's like looking for books or something, but it didn't seem like he used any books to get out of this thing. I wonder a lot of things. Like, what triggered the demon in the first place that like is now coming back after so many years?
True. Do they even say
that? They don't go through it.
He just says, "You're back," like looking in the mirror, all wet and dramatic. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Can I mention before I forget?
Yeah.
They show like a photo of Giles from, and that could be Anthony Stewart Head from like the day before.
This.
That's Giles?
I was 21.
It's not him at all?
It's Giles photoshopped onto Sid Vicious's body.
Good. I was gonna say, because I was like, he might have been in a band. That's amazing. And also, I was like, he plays bass. I knew he was a bass player. If anything, like you know, like me, quote unquote, maybe something, right? He's definitely the bass playing type. This all makes sense. I didn't know Sid Vicious played bass, though. I'm not into that type of stuff. But
I'm not an expert on anyone's instruments of choice.
I'm pretty sure I saw 4 and only 4 strings, and I'm just drawing the conclusion.
He's just a vicious guitar player who broke a string.
He's like, I don't need those extra strings. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Is everyone all right?
Super. I kicked a guy.
We're okay.
So we had a couple of firsts this episode. We see Giles' apartment for the first time.
We do.
Cordelia, like, definitely solidifies her I'm a Scooby in this one, because, like, she's not even asked to help. She's just, like, waiting for her assignment. She's like, I care about Giles. What do you mean? Give me some shit to do.
She's just there,
Yeah.
What about me? I care about Giles.
That's pretty good. We had like Willow, like a boss, like stepping up again, yelling at people, getting like,
Dude.
if you're not gonna fucking play along, get the hell out of my library.
She says, get out of my library.
And if you two aren't with me 110%, then get the hell out of my library.
And then later, they're like, Willow, maybe you should be a watcher. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, then like, I'm not going to look at you because, you know, Willow may die on this show, I'm not sure. But if she doesn't die, I'm like, oh, that's the reboot, is Willow's the watcher now.
Hey, maybe you should consider a career as a watcher.
Oh no, I don't think I could handle the stress.
And we do a whole thing with that, and that's amazing. That's perfect. Alison Hannigan's not doing anything, right? She
does Penn and Teller's.
She's done being pregnant. It's great. She can come do this.
Or Fool Us. You get the FU trophy. That's what it is.
Welcome back to Fool Us.
I like that line, and then Xander comes in with a joke about how the dental plan is shit, and I'm like, well, they're British. Is that a double joke right there?
No,
like,
I took it as a British
I like
joke,
that.
yes.
That's pretty good.
And the dental plan is crap.
There's some interesting jokes in this line. One part that like was curious to me, where I was like, was this just randomly written? Like him and Xander and Cordelia are fighting back and forth, and she makes some comment about like, oh, you need like acne cream or whatever. I'm like, he has very smooth skin. I don't know what this issue. What
do you need besides a lifetime supply of acne cream?
Do you know what you need, Xander, besides a year's supply of acne cream? A brain.
That's it.
And cuts to Nicholas Brendan.
Just like
completely,
like he's like totally
completely
clean.
Unblemished face.
Yeah.
And I was like, does he have one zit? Is she like being petty? Like, what am I? No, I don't think so. Yeah.
No, but like, it seems like their relationship goes a little better here, and routinely it does seem like Xander is defending her.
I thought they were about to start making out.
Well, yeah. It definitely seems like they're on this cusp of things going on here.
I don't know if that ever happens, but I'm throwing it out there.
There's always the tension is something that is there with the Xander character with many of the ladies on the show, it seems.
Let's just say
I loved his thing where they're in the computer class on a Saturday, because poor schlubs that have to go to school on Saturday.
Yeah. Those poor schlubs have to attend school on Saturday.
9 a.m. okay with you, Xander?
And she goes, the first thing we're going to do is Buffy? Did I fall asleep already?
All right, guys, the first thing we're going to do is Buffy.
Huh? Did I fall asleep already?
I thought that was just a
I
very
love that
funny
too,
line.
but I hate how like oh, we have to do Saturday of school, and it's just like only all the famous kids. There's like no one else there. I'm like, okay, fine, okay, great.
Yeah. Oh, Cordelia will be there. Oh, good. If we can throw in like a rectal exam, it'll be the best day ever.
Great day.
Well, Cordelia's gonna meet us.
Ooh, gangs, you hear that? A bonus day of class plus Cordelia. Mixing a little rectal surgery, and it's my best day ever.
But this is what happens when you go to school on Saturday. A humorous line.
This is what happens when you have school on Saturday.
Or when they have to go to the computer house in the first place. It's like, computers? When will you ever use those in real life? It's like the only thing you learn in school that you will actually use in real life. And I guess in 98, 99, you were like computers? It's like, well, we learn typing, then we don't do that anymore.
When are we gonna need computers for real life anyway?
That was the meme. It was like, this is not going to catch on. And she says, like, I thought the whole point of computers was you don't need books. They're making me read a computer book.
Isn't the point of computers to replace books?
Cordelia, I'm a little busy right now.
But she shows up when the cops are there. So first of all, when the cops show up, I was like, do they think like Rupert's a suspect? Like, what's going on here? And it's not at all.
No.
But whatever, it's fine. Yes.
That cop, the lady cop, I've seen her before, and I think as a cop in things.
Rupert Giles?
Yes?
She reeks of cop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got cop going on.
She has big cop energy.
I love they go to the morgue. He looks at the body, and eventually, obviously, the body is infected with the demon. It gets up and walks away. The body is naked, but the demon is modest, so it puts clothes back on. A demon wouldn't care, it would just walk. And yes, maybe a demon might be smart enough to not attract undue attention,
you don't want to
but it also might just kill everyone that tries to stop it because it's a fucking demon, and anyone that stops it, it just zips to someone else.
I question that because the demon puts the clothes on, but does not tuck in the shirt properly.
Sure. Not common to the demon's way of life.
If you're trying to emulate the people perfectly, then you're not going to, I don't know what's going on.
Maybe you're emulating a drunk.
Exactly. Maybe that's your shtick to make up for the fact that you're shambling around, falling apart, decomposing in front of people.
Did you like the demon voice when it was in Miss Calendar?
I didn't like the voice, but I like that the voice changes.
Your time.
Well, I liked it for a practical reason, in that you have this Jenny Calendar character who is in full demon prosthetics.
I've been waiting a long time to do this.
Who is doing action stuff, so it's probably a stunt woman, and she's not actually talking. She's using demon voice, so I'm like, this was just an easy peasy day for you.
It was an easy time. Yeah, I wasn't sure if we're meant to believe that the demon was pretending the whole time to be Miss Calendar. I think so,
I
right?
think so.
Yeah.
I think
very good
it was
job.
trying to seduce him,
Yeah.
so that in the middle of coitus, she could have sprung that demon voice and really fucked with him.
Nice.
But didn't get that far.
Hot. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. He ruined everything. He cock-blocked the demon's plans.
Well, he's too good of a guy.
I know.
I love
punished for that.
I love Miss Calendar and like her fucking with Giles about his book.
Yeah.
And, like just saying the worst things, like and escalating.
Like,
you see him like steam's gonna come out of his
First
collar.
edition. Oh.
Yeah, you know how you have to dog ear your favorite pages so you can go back to them? Practically had to fold back every single page. I just started underlining all the pages I really wanted to discuss. I spilled coffee all over it. I can't even read it. I just love to see you squirm.
Yes.
You fuddy-duddy? Oh, I've heard that before. You're sexy fuddy-duddy. That one they don't usually say.
They usually leave that part out. I was like, all right, cool.
Did anyone ever tell you you're kind of a sexy fuddy-duddy?
No, actually, that part usually gets left out.
Yeah.
I like his little...
And now he's like, it is so sad.
It is. It's such a good build-up for this
this
relationship, and then to just be fucking shot in the foot.
I kind of expected it, and again, I thought, oh, she's possessed, and she'll end up dying. Perhaps like fighting with the demon and then deciding, no, you have to do this, and he's like, no, I can't, no, we can't, and she's like, and then I can't, and then Buffy's like, I can, and then they just like shove her into the incinerator or whatever. Like something happens.
Well, that would make him hate Buffy forever.
You know what I'm saying? So, something that takes place where it's like we had to stop the demon, and this actress wanted to leave the show, so we just like did it or something like that. But this is like heartbreaking. This is horror.
No, it's sad.
Where he goes to like touch her, she like pulls away. I was like, oh, Giles, no.
Oh yeah, someday we'll get coffee. Someday.
Well, maybe eventually.
Perhaps we could talk sometime. Dinner or a drink. When you're feeling stronger.
Sure, sometime.
I'm coping, I guess. And she just, I get it, I guess, if this was a bad experience.
I understand that there's something that happened that we don't know about or something, but...
I understand the concept that someone's upset, but still, why?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Why? Like, why doesn't Ethan lock the doors to his costume shop? Like, Buffy walks in, yes, she's helping, but a moment later the demon just walks in, and you're like, what the fuck? And then the demon, for one moment only, displays force push powers, and just, and like, shoots him out. You're like, wait a minute. What? If you can do these things, why don't you do these things all the time?
No!
Like, I hate things like that. Like, that's a very powerful tool. Oh, you can't touch me? Or that could have been a cool thing, like if the demon could jump from body to body, like in The Fallen, and it was like, don't touch her! Don't touch her!
Yeah. No, trying to fight someone, fight somebody without touching them.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was the entire tension of the episode. Like supposedly was like we have to now kill the demon, but we don't want to kill Miss Calendar, and that was going to be everything. But it ends up involving tattoos and all these other weird things,
it goes on
and
a path.
angel and stuff, and I'm like, whatever.
Must we have this noise during your calisthenics?
It's not noise. It's music.
I know music. Music has notes. This is noise.
I like the line, it's not big, but like when everything's finally going down, Giles shows up also without part of his shirt tucked. That's the symbol.
A little stubble too.
Yeah, that things are really off the rails. And Ethan's like, well, why didn't you tell them, Ripper? And then Cordelia's like, why do you call him Ripper? And then he grabs him and like pulls him up. I warned you or something. He's like, oh.
Why did he call him Ripper?
You should have left when I told you.
Oh.
I have like two lines that I think are tied for me as my favorite lines of the episode. One of them is a Cordelia line. Cordelia, when she walks in, obviously things are immediately just about her when she sees the police, and she's trying to get a ticket removed, and she goes, listen, I was going down a one-way street, but I was driving one way. And just like, that's so dumb, but it was said so genuinely that I enjoy it.
Can you help me with a ticket? It's totally bogus. It was a one-way street. I was going one way.
I thought it worked.
And one with a little bit more forethought into it is Buffy giving out her things like, and Xander, how do you feel about rummaging through Giles' things? I feel great about it. Does that make me a sociopath?
I don't even remember that.
Xander, how do you feel about digging through some of Giles' personal files and seeing what you can find?
I feel pretty good about it. Does that make me a sociopath? Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's good. Got some good stuff
The
in this
investigation and everything. Yeah, Cordelia with the cops is great, and just her thing of like, why is everyone always shouting my name? Come on.
Yeah.
I can take a hint. What's the hint?
Cordelia.
What? Why does everyone always yell my name? I'm not deaf, and I can take a hint. What's the hint?
Exactly.
Dumb stuff, and you're like, okay. Like, yeah, no, I think that those things could not work, but they work with her and the way they're being done and all that, so... Yes.
Well, Anthony Stewart has a way about him where, like, what he says generally just works. And it might not work the way that it was intended on paper, but it always works.
The way he shouts, like Cordelia, no, stop, or something like that. And you're like, whoa, okay.
No, he has a great father figure
I was just going to say, Daddy's angry. And she, has to, leave. Sorry.
It's a combination of his look and his delivery. Yeah. And it works through boobery or through seriousness. Like, he can play both of those things great. Like, when he's just a bungling fool. Yeah. And then when he switches it, and now he's the Ripper, and he's attacking people, and you don't ever think, like, oh, that's not the same guy to me. I'm like, yep, get it, boy.
He's got demons.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh, and a tattoo. It's sweet.
He still has the tattoo.
Where would it go?
What does mine say? That's amazing.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll come up.
All right, guys, so that's pretty much everything that happened in Season 2, Episode 8 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next week for Season 2, Episode 9.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.